I was detained by Customs and Border Patrol.
Hello, my name is Liz Ashley and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about how Hassan Piker was detained at the Chicago airport. That happened over the weekend. So Hassan, as you all know, I am a Hasanabi head. I think most people who watch my channel probably know that by now. I did know he was in France and I did watch him in France. He went to France for Mother's Day over this past weekend, and on his way back, he was detained at the Chicago O'Hare Airport by the Customs and Border Patrol agents. They actually pulled him aside and he explained the whole situation. So I'm going to show you that clip of him kind of explaining what he went through.
I was detained by Customs and Border Patrol. I was kinetically moved into a detention center inside of the O'Hare Airport. Man, the Customs and Border Patrol agent goes, "Step aside, sir." I was like, "Here we go." All right. She goes, "Step aside, sir. An agent will come and take you to another location." I was like, "Is that proper protocol?" I was like, "Sometimes it happens." I was like, "Okay." And I knew at that point, I was like, "Okay." I'm texting like family. I'm like, "This is happening." I'm texting my manager. I was basically I got Lolo on. I was like, "Listen, I'm going in. All right. I'm freaking going in." Who picks me up, takes me to this detention center. I sit down, fluorescent light bulbs, the whole nine. They take me to this back room. Okay. And the back room is not great. The back room is designed in the most hostile way I've ever been inside of a room. The vibes are really very obvious that they knew how to navigate the conversation. And it was a really, really interesting conversation that took place. "Do you talk about the news?" And I was like, "Yeah, I talk about the news." And he kept saying, "Okay, so when you talk about the news, do you talk about the war?" And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" He's like, "Do you talk about Trump?" And that was the first time where I was like, what the is this question? Like, I literally straight up told him, I was like, "Why are you asking me this?" I was like, "What does this have to do with anything?" But one thing that I thought was really interesting was in the actionable side of things, they also asked, "Have you ever interviewed a member of Hamas? Have you ever had a communication or correspondence with a member of Hamas, Hezbollah, or the Houthis?" Now, what's really insane about that is that as someone who works in media, sometimes I do actually do journalism.
He mentions that they ask him about Trump and about the Houthis and about Israel and Hamas. And he just kept saying, "I'm for civilians. I'm for civilians. I want what's best for civilians."
He just kept asking over and over again, right? And I kept repeating the same statement over and over again. I was like, "I'm on the side of civilians. I want the endless bloodshed to end. I am a pacifist."
I think that's a very crazy thing to ask, but I also think it's crazy that they asked about Trump as well. There was that one professor who I believe came from France, and they actually took his phone and they looked through his phone, and he had some text messages about how he didn't like Trump, and they didn't let him in. Now, they couldn't do that to Hassan because he is an American citizen. He was born in America. From what I've heard, they can't deny you entry if you're an American citizen. They can make it harder. They can't deny you from coming back in. I think is honestly terrifying. It's terrifying on so many levels. But he said that at the very end, he asked, "Well, am I being detained? Am I free to go? Why are you detaining me?" And that's when he said that they just kind of let him go, essentially. They didn't look through his phone, although they can look through your phone, which I think is crazy. It's scary, honestly. This has happened to other people. This has happened to a couple TikTokers.
I had already heard horror stories from people. There was that one girl on TikTok that had talked about this.
This is something that is happening to people. The mainstream media understands just how not okay this is, because Hassan is a part of the media. He's a political commentator. It shouldn't matter what he thinks about Trump. It shouldn't matter what he thinks about Hamas. It shouldn't matter what he thinks about the Houthis, whatever. It shouldn't matter. We have free speech here, and it shouldn't matter what he says, because none of what he has said is illegal. You might not like it. You might not agree with it, but it's not illegal. And so to ask him these questions about his political opinions as a political commentator, and detain him. I mean, that is serious. That is serious. And a lot of mainstream media also seems to think so.
Popular left-wing Twitch streamer and YouTuber HASAN Piker says he was detained at a U.S. airport for hours this weekend and questioned by U.S. Customs and Border Protection about his political beliefs, specifically on Gaza and President Trump.
The Customs and Border Patrol agent at the gate told me to step aside and that another agent would be coming over to take me to a separate location. We arrived at questions about what my opinions were on Donald Trump. I told him I don't like Donald Trump. After that, he asked me about my opinion on Israel and my opinion on what's going on in Gaza.
I mean, that's insane.
Except for people online.
Were unironically brought up in that conversation. The Houthi. Like, did you?
That's right. Yes, that's right. Saying that you support a designated terrorist organization got you extra questioning whenever you were re-entering the country. Wow. Can you believe the levels of oppression that we have today?
I've been watching a lot of World War II documentaries recently. I don't know if it helps any. I understand that like that it's not going to be a one for like what we're going through is not a one for one. It's not going to be a one for one. But I've been watching a ton of documentaries about World War II. And one of the things that I learned is that there was this thing and it was called the Night of the Long Knives. It was called the Night of the Long Knives. And that was when Hitler killed, I think, he killed a few hundred people in his own party, in his own orbit. Something that a lot of these people don't understand is that you can sit here and you can be like, well, it's okay because it's okay that HASAN got detained and it's really not that serious. And he's also lying, even though the government freaking admitted it, even though they admitted that he was detained, people still think he's lying, which is wild. And so people like Asmongold, I don't think they understand. It's like, you can sit here and you can grift this way for views now. You can say all this shit for views now, but if something doesn't change, there's gonna come a point where political speech is illegal. I think that's important to point out because I think a lot of the people who are in this orbit, who are defending all of these things, who are saying, oh, it's okay because they're not citizens. It's okay because they're immigrants. It's okay because of this, because of that. It's okay because I think he interviewed a Houthi. What have you? You are laying the groundwork for your own demise. That is exactly what is happening. Amy Coney Barrett has been pushing back on Trump's birthright citizenship thing. And now there was someone on Twitter who was like, what do you think? Should women be in the Supreme Court? Like, the same thing happened to Megyn Kelly. Whatever they're dishing out to everyone else will never come back to them. And they're wrong. And they're wrong. Fascism comes for us all. You think because you are a part of the orbit now, because you are parroting the talking points now, that you are going to be okay in the long run. That is not how this works. That's not how this works. That is not how this ever has worked. And so Asmongold and everyone else can sit here and explain it away now. But you are laying the groundwork for this to happen to everyone else. Just know that. They have arrested a judge. They have arrested a mayor. The judge actually just got indicted. There are many student activists that have been getting detained and disappeared. And everyone who is just explaining all of this away is laying the groundwork for the erosion of their own rights. And that's just the truth. This is serious, happening to other people as well. And I think that we should pay attention to this stuff because this is going to become a lot more frequent. And yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. But all right. All right. That was the video. Tell me what you think below. And please like and comment and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So it'd really help me out if you would subscribe. And yeah, that's it. All right. Well, I will see you in the next video. Bye.